we get into now Alabama head coach Nick Saban. And John, I thought about this topic quite a bit over the weekend, more so on Sunday than what I did on Saturday. But I thought quite a bit about this topic. Coach Saban is about to enter his 14th season with the Crimson Tide. And that's crazy to think about, just understanding how, at one point in time, he was about, don't be at a place longer than 4 to 5 years. Don't overstate your welcome. Don't allow things to get stale. Be in a program just enough to where you can get it to being competitive. You can get it to being really, really good, and then you bolt out of there, right? So Coach Saban entering his 14th season with the Crimson Tide, that's incredible. And to me, I wonder at times, what drives the motivation? Where does the motivation come from for Coach Saban? I mean, what continues to keep him pushing? Is it the players? Is it the coaching staff? Is it the fans? Is it winning? Is it all of the experiences he has had? What has drove the motivation for, Coach Saban? And the more I think about it, he will not admit to this, and I don't expect for Coach Saban to admit to this. I don't necessarily want him to admit to this, but as much as I think about it, as much as I play around with this in my mind, I feel like the biggest motivation for Coach Saban has been national media. I feel like national media has been the biggest motivation because, once again, he'll never admit to it, and I don't expect him to. He doesn't really pay attention to all the stuff that goes on out there in the page clippings, out there in the media, in the press, on the TV, on social media. He doesn't pay that much attention, but at the same time, I feel like that is the biggest form of the motivation. And the reason why I say that is Coach Saban is always trying to prove I'm still the guy. He's always trying to prove I'm still the man. He's always trying to prove that nobody has yet gotten one over me. It's almost like, Michael Jordan in The Last Dance, the Bulls documentary, where Jordan did not need a full tank of gas. He just needed a little inkling of a fuse to get himself going, right? Whether it was, Jordan could be in the hallway and there was a coach coming by, an opposing coach, that wouldn't say hi to MJ. That's all MJ needed. Okay, you're not going to say hi to me? I'm going to cook you now. I'm going to use this. I'm going to cook you now. Or if there was, a player that, walked past Jordan and didn't acknowledge him, are you not going to acknowledge the great one? Okay, that's all I need. I'm going to cook you now. Or if it was a moment where, a reporter would go on TV and be like, well, I think this guy is on the same level as Mike. I think this guy's on the same level as MJ. And MJ would be like, nobody is on my level. Okay, that's all I need. I'm going to cook you right now because they feel like you is on my same level. They feel like you on the same par as me. Ain't nobody on the same par as me. So Jordan would take kind of the smallest thing, right? And it's with all it would need for him to gas up the car and get him going. And it's kind of the same thing with Coach Saban, or it is the same thing with Coach Saban. Case in point here, 2007, January 4th, January 3rd, 2007, Coach Saban makes landfall in Alabama as the new head coach for the Crimson Tide. And if you remember, Alabama was in a bad state. You had the locust era, as people would call it, where it was Mike DuBose, Mike Shula, Dennis Franchione, the textbook scandal. You couldn't get scholarships. You couldn't recruit the guys you wanted to, even if you wanted to. This generation will never understand Alabama at one point in time with 4-8. I lived through that. 4-8 nowadays would be the biggest curse known to mankind. It'd be the biggest, what the just happened? That would be if Alabama went 4-8 this day and time. But at time passed, at one point in time, 2003, I lived through it. Alabama was 4-8. 2004 was 6-6. 2006 it was 6-6. So I remember those times, but during that time period, Alabama was in a very rough state. It was long gone from the championship pedigree that Wallace Wade, Frank Thomas, Paul Bryant, Gene Stallings had the program on. And so Coach Saban comes in here 07 and he says, we're going to give you this program. We're going to develop, build, work to provide you a program that you, the fans, can brag about, can boast about, can be happy about, can be excited about. And as he's saying, all of these things, you have some entities of national media, their response was, yeah, Saban's good, but he's not going to be able to do that quick. It's going to take Saban 6 years to just win one. I mean, do you see how bad of a fix Alabama is? This is not a sexy program. This is not a great program. They don't have a whole bunch of scholarships. This place doesn't just scream, come to Alabama. Like, it's going to take Nick a long time to win here. He's not going to make this program a winner out off the bat. Why did he even come here? He could have stayed with the Miami Dolphins and made NFL money. Why did he come to Alabama? You had some people that already had in national media preconceived doubt, preconceived disbelief. What does Nick Saban do? He sees the preconceived disbelief. He takes the preconceived disbelief, but in half the time, he wins the first national championship, does it, in 3 years. 2009, got it done. And yes, it took, distancing yourself from players, cutting some guys off, bringing your players in, bringing your coaches in. But despite the critics, despite the naysay, in half the time, Coach Saban, national championship, media sort of lit that fuse a little bit. And then, remember in 2015, the great 2015, when it was 2 years, 2013 and 2014, where Coach Saban did not win a national championship, when Alabama did not win a title. And what was the word coming from the media? Oh, man, it's been 2 years since Saban won a title. It's been way too long. I think he's losing it. He don't got it no more. He don't have it no more. Everybody's catching up. Dabo's caught up. Everybody else is caught up. The talent's caught up. Nick Saban cannot win the way he was winning at first. Uh-oh, we got a problem. Bama ain't king of the block no more. Here comes the naysay. Here comes the national media giving Nick Saban the gas, giving Nick Saban the fuel, giving Nick Saban the ammo. And behind that part of it, then you had the article from our good friend Dan Wolken at USA Today. Then you had Dan Wolken's article. And this comes after Alabama lost to Ole Miss back-to-back years, 2014 and 2015. So Dan Wolken puts the icing on the cake. He puts up the article, "The Dynasty Looks Like It's Over." And then from that article, we got the Nick Saban presser where he's on the platform going, well, if it was up to y'all, we would be 6 feet buried and gone, over if we was to listen to y'all. So Coach Saban takes the ammo from national media, 2015. What does he do? After the loss to Ole Miss, he goes on a run and wins the national championship in 2015. And then, the doubts go from winning championships to recruiting. You have national media going, well, Coach Saban can't recruit like he used to. He's getting older now. The age has got to him. He's 68. He's not like all these young coaches. Look at how Dabo's recruiting. Look at how Kirby Smart's recruiting. Look at how, Jeremy Pruitt's recruiting. Look at how Ryan Day is recruiting at Ohio State. Look at how all of these young coaches are being able to vibe with these players. They're listening to what these players listen to. You don't see Nick Saban listening to YFE and Lucci. You don't see Nick Saban listening to an NBA young boy. You don't see Coach Saban listening to, Drake. You don't see Coach Saban listening to J. Cole. You don't see Coach Saban listening to all the hot young rappers come out nowadays. Coach Saban is listening to the Eagles. Coach Saban is listening to the Beach Boys. Coach Saban is listening to all these old school cats that ain't around no more. He can't vibe. He can't relate. He can't speak to the language that these young kids are speaking to. He can't recruit anymore. Players have seen past the Alabama facade. They've seen past the championships. It's all work. It's no play. Kids want to have fun. Kids want to be a part of a fun program. Alabama ain't no fun program. So Nick Saban, he takes that piece of naysay, he takes that piece of criticism, and he goes, okay, I'll show you how fun I can be. I will go to every recruit's house and hit the Cupid Shuffle. I will go to every recruit's house and hit the electric slide. I'll go into every recruit's house and cut a two-step. I'll go to every recruit's house and show you that I am the biggest, baddest, funnest man on the block. And while I'm two-stepping, I got Miss Terry in the cut baking cookies for all the moms and all the kids. So we will show you we are fun program. I'll show you how fun I am. I'll take these recruits on the boat with me, and they'll go on the boat with me, and they'll be able to go off on Lake Tuscaloosa, and they'll be able to see what a fun individual that I am. And from there, you look at Coach Saban, 2019 class was a top class. 2020 class was a top class. 2021 class thus far looking pretty good as things are starting to heat up more and take more shape. But now the thing has gotten back to championships. Now the naysay from national media has become, well, Saban's window's closed. Well, the time is running out. Well, it's getting harder to win national championships. Well, it's getting more difficult to win national championships. Well, it's not easy for Coach Saban as it once was. The age is a big thing. Don't you know he turned 69 this October? We don't think that's going to happen. Folks, national media naysay 2007, Nick Saban answered the bell. Naysay in 2013-14, he answers the bill 2015. National media has given Saban a bit more ammo. This is going to be fun this upcoming season. We take another break here on the show, folks. Don't touch that dial. Still rocking and rolling. When we get back, we unpack more of your phone calls, thoughts, tweets, texts, messages, concerns. Bring them in right after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.